Big and tall guys, this one is for you. This is the second video in our big and tall series. So if you are bigger, you've got a belly in the way for some of the poses. If you are taller and it seems like you just have to stretch more than your average height man, we're going to show you how to modify the poses in a way that work for you. I've got Jesse, who is our big and tall yoga instructor, here to help lead. Jesse is 6'8". He's also been a former bigger guy himself, so he's going to show you how to make the poses work for you. Be sure to subscribe because we've got a whole series of these videos. Check them out, and here we go.
All right, next pose we're going to do is boat pose. So much like the forward fold, I recommend sit on a block. If you have two small blocks, put them together. You know, we might be wider. I have the tall blocks, which is the perfect size for me to sit on. So it's important to remember in boat pose that we want to focus on our core strength and keeping our chest up. If you find yourself leaning forward, you're going to need to work on your core engagement. So this is a really good place to start right here. Our hands either on our knees, but even better is to put your hands behind you, because what that does is it gets our shoulders down and back, gets our chest up. We're engaging that core. We're focusing on our breath. We're not looking up. We're kind of looking to the top of the room. This is a really good place to start for boat pose, because this kind of sets us up. From here, you can start doing single leg lifts. Keep those toes engaged, and we're going to feel it in our core and in our obliques and in our hips. A nice slow lifts.
Yeah, if you're not feeling it in your hips or your core, it's probably you're not using your core enough. Mm-hmm. So, and that might just take some time to build that awareness.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah. And then if you want, you can take it one step further and do both feet. And remember, these hands are back here to support you. So if you find yourself, hunching over, or your lower back is starting to get sore, take a second, put those heels back down, work on that core engagement, the chest open, shoulders back. See if you can go from there.
I see a lot of people doing this in boat pose. It's kind of like this. Right, the really back really rounds.
Yeah.
So thinking about really getting the hips active and then lengthening through the front of the body. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love using the hands back here because that just makes it a lot easier to focus on the right things.
If you want to challenge yourself, you can try with the hands, but then if you're suffering or if you're struggling with core engagement, you'll do the rounded back. So it's good to start there. Maybe challenge yourself a little bit, put the feet down, and then try it with just the hands. Maybe that works, and then see if you can get there. No matter what shape you're in, boat pose it can be difficult, so don't get discouraged. Next pose is happy baby. So go ahead and pull that block out. And this one, I highly recommend using a strap. Like I said before, if you don't have a strap, use a leash, use a rope, use a belt. You're going to want to put it around your feet. You can either do it while sitting up. I would probably recommend doing that because it's going to be hard to do it while on your back. And then go ahead and lay back and get your feet into the middle for starters and hold onto that strap. The goal with Happy Baby is to get those feet wide. And remember, much like with Child's Pose, when we were on our belly, we want to keep these knees wide and use that strap to get those feet open. Because if you can't reach your feet, this strap is a really good way to bring it close to you. Our knees are up towards our shoulders. Our hips are nice and open. And if you're at a point where this is where you are because your body doesn't let you go any farther, that's fine too. Like it's a progression. So getting your back flat on the ground, your head down, and if you need that block, put it behind your head. If you're straining to keep your head up, or it's making it so that you have to look backwards and you're having a hard time breathing, lay your head on a block.
Yeah, I really like that block modification because I see a lot of people kind of really uncomfortable looking behind them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that block modification is great.
Yeah.
And then remembering that this stretch it's an inner thigh stretch.
Yeah.
So, it's not a lower back stretch. You shouldn't be feeling it in your lower back. So trying to keep your hips on the ground. And then, you've got a lot of different ways to play around with what you do with your knees here. Right? The knees can come in tighter. You can bring your feet further apart. You can even make it more hamstring focused and bring your legs closer together. So there's so many ways to do this stretch. Just make sure the stretch is in the hips, not the lower back.
Yeah. And if you start to feel in your lower back, working on that core engagement, and it's also one of those poses that, if you have to take a break, put your feet down and then get back up. Don't be discouraged. If you have to hit the pause button, that's also highly recommended.
And then one way to make this even easier, if you're really struggling with both legs, you could just do one leg at a time too. So, my hip flexors were like, whoa.
There we go. Oh. And always focus on your breathing. Nice long inhales, nice long exhales. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch sides. There we go.
And we get a lot of comments, people asking like, how long do we hold the pose for? And hold it for the same duration that we're doing here. But Jesse said 30 seconds. Like 30 seconds is a good length. It just depends on your goals.
Yeah.
So 30 seconds is enough. If flexibility is the goal, going up like 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 2 minutes is good. Just, again, you just want to make sure that you're not feeling pain or significant discomfort. So if you are, again, use those modifications that we talked about. Or try to get more engaged through the body, right? Don't just be passive, but see if you can get the muscles working.
All right, let's go ahead and gently come out of that one.
Sorry to interrupt the workout, guys. Just want to mention that if you're enjoying this series, if you like the approach for big and tall guys, we do have a full series and more workouts specifically for bigger and taller guys in the Manful Yoga app and members area. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description below. You can try that out with a free 7-day trial.
All right, next pose is bridge pose. We're already on our back. If you struggle with keeping your head up, or you find yourself looking back at the wall, then just keep the block there. So bridge pose, I like to create a square between my ankles and my hips. So my knees are about hip width distance. I have that same distance between my butt and my heels. And I usually, have my arms out to the side or out in a T or out down to my side, kind of personal preference. Nice long inhale. On the exhale, I like to push up with my butt and lift my hips upward. And when I get to this point, I have a nice long straight line between my shoulders and my knees. This is the shape that you want to aim for. You don't want to arch your back. There's nice core engagement here. My hips are pointing straight up at the ceiling. Nice long inhale, nice long exhale. This is also one of those poses that if you find yourself struggling, if there's any lower back pain, you want to focus on the core engagement, but also feel free to take breaks. If you're up in this point and it's too much for you, sit your butt back down. Take a moment and go back up. But ultimately, if this isn't possible for you and your body can't do this, then I have a modification for you.
Yeah, so we talked about how the lying on your back and the belly in the way, that can be uncomfortable. So, and also I find that bigger guys sometimes just struggle with glute engagement. Also, it's correlation to inactivity sometimes. So yeah, we're gonna do this move on the wall called a donkey kick.
Donkey kick. All right.
Yeah. So this donkey kick is great because we don't have to worry about weight in the belly. We don't have to worry about some of the things that happen when we're on the ground. It takes a bit of just focus to make sure that you're doing it correctly. The big idea here, we're going to put our hands against the wall, rest here, hinge at the hips a little bit. You're going to bring let's go left heel in toward butt.
Okay.
So left heel in toward butt. And then the big thing to remember here is that we're not opening up the hips.
Yeah.
You're not like, a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. We're pushing the hips, pushing your left heel straight back, right? So you feel your butt working, right? So I'm going to just demo on Jesse. So yeah, pushing back, bring the heel in, and you're pushing as up as you can with the heel. So it's all, that right. Groan meant that you felt it.
And then keep that left hip down, squared with the ground, like level to the ground.
Right, just like dancer, you want to keep your hips squared or airplane. Yep, so notice how this left hip is staying down here. We're not letting it kick up, right? And Jesse's doing kind of holds right now, but you can also do it in reps. So you can do like 1 or 2 seconds, get a good contraction, and then release. You want to keep the heel in toward the butt. Really focus on that glute and that's it.
There we go.
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you can do it as like 5-second or 10-second hold, or like we were doing 1 or 2 second pulses here. This isn't, this is totally different from a bridge pose. So, if you're in a yoga class, it might be a little, impractical. Your yoga instructor might be like, dude, sit back down. What are you doing? And yeah, go ahead and switch legs. But just from the perspective of trying to get that solid glute engagement, and if you're struggling with that position on your back, I really like using this. I've done a lot of in-person things, and just did one day ago with Jesse here. But sometimes using this move gets people to understand that glute engagement in a different way, and it allows them to get better glute engagement than just doing the bridge on the ground. So this is a nice way to do it. So spending about a minute, maybe 90 seconds per leg here, right? Getting about that much time and tension, including those little pauses between.
Oh, yeah.
So,
all right.
Cool. All right. Consider your glutes engaged.
Yep, they feel engaged.
All right.
All right, so those are the poses that I've struggled with in the past, and I know a lot of you struggle with when it comes to being big or tall. Those are the floor stretches that I think that modified you can make work for your body.
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. This is part of our Big and Tall series. There's actually a first part of that workout. I'm going to go ahead and put that link in the description below here if you want to try the first part of that workout now. Be sure to subscribe because we have more of these videos coming out. I'll also put the link below for the rest of the videos in this series, depending on when the video is released and when you're watching it. I hope to see you on future videos, and if you want to check out the first part of this workout, the Big and Tall series, go ahead and click above my shoulder. All right, guys, see you on the next one.